The SmartRock 2 sensor has three main components: the black box, the temperature cable, and the activation wires. The black box, which is the brain of the sensor, contains the battery, the memory, and the Bluetooth. The sensor measures temperature every 15 minutes and records for approximately 60 days. The battery has a life of 4 months, allowing the user to retrieve data from the sensor up to 2 months after the last data point has been recorded. The temperature cable comes in two lengths, 40 centimeters and 3 meters. The thermocouple is equipped with a plastic thermometer at the tip of the cable where the temperature is read. The temperature cable has a reading range from -30 to 80 degrees Celsius. The two metal wires, known as the activation wires, have two functions. Their primary function is to turn on the sensor. When the wires touch and remain connected, they turn on the sensor and start recording data. If the two metal wires are disconnected, the sensor will stop recording data until they are twisted back together. Their second function is to secure the sensor to the rebar during the installation process. Once the sensor has been activated, the black box memory will start to record temperature data points. To download the data from the black box, a smartphone having the SmartRock 2 app installed with the relevant project can connect to the sensor when within the allowable Bluetooth range. Once the sensor has been downloaded, the application processes this information to output an in-place strength and maturity value. Make sure to watch the next training video, which will cover all you need to know about the sensor installation process. The first step of installation is to tag the sensors. The tagging process allows the user to identify each sensor through the mobile application with specific names. To do so, the user must create a project followed by a section in the SmartRock mobile app. The user can create multiple sections within a project and tag multiple sensors in each section. To tag a new sensor, the user must first activate it by twisting the two metal wires together, then select New Sensor at the bottom of the sensor page. The application will then scan for nearby sensors. Then you can select the sensor and give it a name of your choice. Then you can write the name on the white label of the sensor. We recommend to untwist the two metal wires to preserve the battery of the sensor until site installation. From this point forward, the newly tagged sensor will be visible in the application. Please note, you can edit the name at a later stage. The tagging process must be done for one sensor at a time. These steps must be repeated for each sensor that the user would like to use in their project. We recommend tagging the sensors in the office. To ensure good wireless Bluetooth signal performance from the sensor, it is important to follow the following site installation guidelines. The black box, which contains the wireless antenna, must be installed on the rebar at a maximum of 5 centimeters below the concrete surface. This will ensure a Bluetooth range up to 8 meters. In the case where the concrete cover exceeds 5 centimeters, it is suggested to use plastic spacers or any other objects that can help position the sensor at an appropriate depth within 5 centimeters from the concrete surface. SmartRock is designed to be fully embedded in the concrete. This helps prevent any potential damage to the SmartRock components after the pour, such as harsh compacting or surface finishing machines on the construction site. Alternatively, the black box can be left outside the concrete, which will increase the wireless Bluetooth signal up to 25 meters. In the case where the black box is left outside of the concrete, we recommend attaching a yellow ribbon to the black box to caution site workers of its location. The black box needs to be secured to the rebar with the white label facing towards the closest concrete surface. It is recommended to place SmartRock on the intersection of the rebar for better stability. During the installation, the two metal wires must be twisted together to ensure a secure installation and strong wire connection to activate the sensor. Using pliers can ease the twisting process and can provide a tighter wire connection. In the case where pliers aren't practical, it is recommended to cover the hand-twisted wires with tape. Once the smart lock has been secured to the rebar via the wires, the use of tape or plastic zip ties to further secure the black box to the rebar is strongly advised. This will ensure that the smart lock remains in its upright position during the concrete pour. Similarly, the temperature cable can be secured to the underneath of the rebar with tape or plastic zip ties. Please avoid using metal rebar ties for securing the temperature cable, as this may damage the cable. In some cases, including those where metal formworks are used, a thick layer of water or any other medium exists on the concrete surface, the Bluetooth signal could be impeded. In these cases, please position the sensors mindfully or contact Giatec support or your local dealer for more guidance. Once the smart lock sensor has been tagged and securely installed, it is important to wirelessly connect to this sensor via the mobile application prior to the concrete pour to make sure the sensor is active. Also, it is recommended to connect to the sensor soon after the pour to make sure the signal is visible and the installation was successful. Make sure to watch the third part of this video training, which will cover all you need to know about the smart lock mobile application. The smart lock application can be downloaded free of charge from both the Google Play Store and Apple Store on your smartphone. The main page of the smart lock app is the active project page. On this page, the user will be able to create and view all the active projects, which includes a default demo project. The app is structured to allow the user to create a project with two main components: sections and sensors. There is no limit on the number of sections and sensors per project. At the bottom of the screen, the user can create a new project by selecting New Project. A project name must be entered. On this page, the user will be able to create and view sections within the project. A section can be created by selecting New Section at the bottom of the screen. A section name must be entered. On this page, you will be able to view and tag the sensors. Tagging is the process of adding a sensor to the project. It's recommended to do this step in the office and to add the sensors one at a time to the project. To add a new sensor, select New Sensor at the bottom of the screen and the application will scan for the activated sensor. Selecting the generic name of the sensor will bring up the Adding a Sensor page where a sensor name must be entered. The sensor has a variety of optional settings, and these settings can be defined during the tagging process or later. The user does not have to be connected to the sensor to edit the optional settings. Selecting Done will save the new sensor to the sensor list. Now the user can untwist the wires and write the name of the tag sensor on the white label on the black box. Projects can be shared between team members by clicking the three-dot option beside the project, section, or sensor name and selecting Share Project. Now everyone with the project will receive real-time updates from that project. To download data from the sensor, the user needs to be within the Bluetooth range of the sensor. The signal symbol on the left side of the sensor's name indicates the wireless signal strength from the sensor. The user can download the data by selecting the sensor name. Once the data is downloaded, the application will display the sensor information page. This page shows the most recent data for the selected sensor. On this page, the user can select the pouring time and can assign a mix maturity calibration to the sensor from the list of pre-calibrated mixes. The pouring time and mix maturity calibration are mandatory to obtain maturity and strength values. Swiping from right to left, the user can view the temperature versus time graph, the maturity versus time graph, strength versus time graph, and, if uploaded, the image of the sensor. Selecting the three vertical dots at the top right of the sensor information page allows the user to send a sensor report, which contains a PDF and CSV file of the data sensor. The user can always access the previously downloaded data on the sensor and generate a report. The user does not have to be within Bluetooth range. Selecting the 3 horizontal lines on the top left of the Active Project page will open the Applications menu. The Maturity Calibrations tab allows the user to create, view, and edit maturity calibrations. Selecting Maturity Calibration will take the user to the list of calibrations where a default demo calibration has been included. To create a new calibration, select New Maturity Calibration at the bottom of the page. The SmartRocks application default units are in metric, but can be changed to imperial through the Settings tab in the side menu. Also, under the Settings tab, the user can create thresholds. Selecting Sensor Parameter Threshold, then New Threshold, allows the user to set temperature and strength limits. Find Sensors Near Me allows the user to directly connect to a previously tagged sensor without the need to go through the project and the section page. The application will scan for nearby sensors, and the user will be able to connect by selecting the sensor's name that appears on the screen. The application also offers additional help through tutorials and direct contact with the support team through phone or email. Giatec offers a cloud account service for the SmartRocks sensors via Giatec 360. If your company has been signed up on a corporate account, each user must log into the application on the side menu. Once logged in, all the projects from your company will be automatically synchronized to your mobile app without the need to use the sharing link. If you have any questions regarding maturity calibration, sensor hardware, sensor installation, or the Giatec 360 platform, please do not hesitate to contact the support team or your local dealer. Thank you for listening.